India becomes sixth largest world economy as per World Bank data in 2017 as per GDP. India becomes sixth largest world's economy as per GDP according to World Bank data. Recently, India joined in European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD. Recently, India joined in European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD. India formally became 69th member in EBRD. 69th member in European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. EBRD was formed in 1991 after the fall of Berlin Wall. EBRD was formed in the year 1991 after the fall of Berlin Wall. The headquarters of EBRD are at London. The headquarters of EBRD are at London. And next important news, Salam Singh Rathod got 7 years jail term in 2006. He has done an offence, he has done spying against Official Secrets Act. Salam Singh Rathod, he has leaked some important naval news. Belongs to Navy. He has done offence against Official Secrets Act and he got punishment. Salam Singh Rathod has done offence against Official Secrets Act and he got punishment. Coming to yesterday's editorial page. In yesterday's newspaper, July 13th, 2018, editorial page, the most important editorial is India-South Korea relations. India-South Korea relations. South Korean President Moon Jae-in visited India. South Korean President Moon Jae-in visited India. In Asia, India is the third largest economy. South Korea is the fourth largest economy. In Asia, India is the third largest economy. South Korea is the fourth largest economy. In 2010, India and South Korea have signed CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. In 2010, India and South Korea signed CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. The present trade between India and South Korea is $20 billion. The present trade between India and South Korea is $20 billion. This $20 billion trade is far below the potential. This $20 billion trade is far below the potential. We have much more higher potential for trade, but unfortunately our trade was blocked at $20 billion. And here India's Act East policy and South Korea's new Southern policy. South Korea's new Southern policy should be linked together. India started Act East policy. South Korea have new Southern policy. Both these policies, if they were linked together, India-South Korea relations will go to a new height. And recently South Korea launched a largest mobile factory, Samsung factory at Noida. South Korea launched largest mobile factory, that is Samsung factory at Noida. Hyundai, Samsung, most of the South Korean companies present in India. And Indian Prime Minister's office in 2015, Indian PMO in 2015 had a South Korea special desk on South Korea, on Korean issue, on entire Korean peninsula. Special Korean desk we have. special Korean desk. In spite of that, India-South Korea relations are not very strong. They are drifting apart. So now it is up to us to bring into a single compass, to make them into a single compass, India, South Korea. As you all know, South Korea is also a part of RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. South Korea is also a part of RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. There are 16 members in RCEP along with 10 Asian countries. Along with 10 Asian countries, there are 16 members in RCEP. South Korea is also a part of RCEP, India and South Korea. Apart from that, South Korea is very famous for electronics and particularly automobile industry. Let us see how India and South Korea relations in future will go beyond. And among all these things, the best thing is we have 2010 SEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. This particular article, India and South Korea, is a textbook article. This article is like a textbook article. You can have this article entirely in your answer sheet. It is not exaggeration, it is not subject to article. It is a very factual article. You can take this article as it is and copy in your exam. It's a very important article. Cut and paste this article in your IR notes. India-South Korea relations. This article is highly enough. If you remember this much, it's more than enough. Okay. So this you have to keep it with you. India-South Korea relations. Coming to editorial yesterday, section 377 of IPC and beyond. Section 377 of IPC and beyond. This you should know a point. Section 377 of IPC gives punishment for unnatural offences. Section 377 of IPC gives punishment for unnatural offence. Unnatural offence is an offence which is against the nature. Okay, gay relationship, lesbian relationship is against nature. In the same way, a relationship between human being and other living creature is also a unnatural offence, and these are punishable. But in 2011, in Naz Foundation case, Delhi High Court told. In 2011, in Naz Foundation case, Delhi High Court told, to the extent of LGBT rights, this section is unconstitutional. Means LGBTs have right to privacy, and this section will not apply to them unless they harm others. But whereas in 2013, in Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Naz Foundation, in Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Naz Foundation, the Supreme Court said, see, LGBTs constitutes a minuscule minority in the society, very small group, and for their reason, if you make section 377 unconstitutional, when something is an aberration, if you say it is correct, it will be legalized and people will start doing that. When something happens rarely, if you decriminalize it, people may follow it. So when something is an aberration, let it be an aberration. Don't make it as a rule. Don't decriminalize it. Supreme Court said. Now what happened? After Puttaswamy versus Union of India, which declared that right to privacy is a fundamental right. After Puttaswamy versus Union of India, which declared right to privacy as a fundamental right, already a curative petition was filed. On Suresh Kumar Kaushal case. See, after Supreme Court gives a judgment, there can be a review petition and there can be a curative petition. A curative petition is a petition which was filed on extraordinary grounds where there is an error on the judgment, and when the senior lawyer of the Supreme Court certifies that there is an error in the judgment and that is a fit case for the Supreme Court to pursue again. That is a fit case for the Supreme Court to pursue again. Curative petition is an extraordinary device. It was first implemented in a case called Ashok Hurra and Rupa Ashok Hurra. Curative petition was first implemented in a case called Ashok Hurra and Rupa Ashok Hurra. When there is a grave miscarriage of justice, when there is a problem with the judgment, you can file a curative petition with the certificate given by the senior lawyer of the Supreme Court, and if the really Supreme Court feels that there is something wrong in the judgment, again it will take up the case, and again it will try to review the case, and again it will see the latest judgments on the related issues, and it might give a judgment. By seeing all probability, and day before yesterday's comments on this issue by Justice Chandrachud, where right to choose partner is a fundamental right. Right to choose your partner is a fundamental right. A man can choose a man as his partner, or a woman as his partner. A woman can choose a woman as his partner, or as her partner, or a man as her partner. That is her choice, without harming somebody. Human being can choose anybody. But how far it can be accepted in the Indian society is a big question. Because conservatives always say Indian culture, Indian way of life, Indian tradition. So to what extent this question can be answered, only time has to tell. But one thing is sure, basic human rights, LGBTs should also have the right to have their sexual orientation. Even in any way, every human being have the right to have, basic right to have their own sexual orientation. That we have to agree. Whether it is right or wrong, that is subjective question. But everybody has the right to have their own orientation. This is for sure. Okay, this is the debate on Article 377 and Section 377 and beyond. This is the debate on Section 377 and beyond. Apart from that, next important lead article yesterday was a list of questionable eminence. A list of questionable eminence. Here, the government decided to repeal UGC Act, University Grants Commission Act, and wanted to establish Higher Education Commission of India. The thing is Higher Education Commission of India is going to become old wine in the new bottle? Is it going to become old wine in the new bottle? Is it going to actually exercise proper autonomy? The IITs, IIMs and other universities in India, whether they are really going to become the universities of excellence, the colleges of excellence. And this we have to wait and see. First thing, the HRD ministry retained the powers of grants and aid. The money powers are retained with Minister of HRD. Only academic powers are given to Higher Education Commission. So how far without monetary powers, Higher Education Commission fare well? Second thing, will there be a real autonomy to Higher Education Commission? Will there be any real autonomy to Higher Education Commission? And third thing, whether it is going to be very free with political influence, and whether it is going to maintain the quality of excellence. Whether really the chairman and vice chairman will govern, or politicians will govern the Higher Education Commission of India. All these doubts were rising, and many experts are raising these doubts. Unless there is a proper debate on the draft, unless all academicians and experts come and give their opinion on the draft, this draft should not become a reality. This was their quest. This was their demand. So this is the crucial article. And next important article, which I liked so much in yesterday's newspaper, towards a culture of moral responsibility. This article is written by the Nobel Peace Prize laureate Kailash Satyarthi. Towards a culture of moral responsibility. This particular article was written by Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi. Say, for every 1 hour, 8 children were missing in India. For every 1 hour, 8 children were missing in India. Out of 8 missing children for every 1 hour, 4 were sent to sexual abuse. 4 are in the sexual abuse. So, who has to answer this question? The missing children in India. And Kailash Satyarthi last year led 11,000 kilometers Save Childhood campaign, Bharat Yatra. 11,000 kilometers Save Childhood campaign. In that campaign, it was a peaceful campaign. where many rape victims, child trafficking victims, prostitute victims, everybody followed him. But still the question, do we have the moral responsibility of the missing children, childhood in India? The fate of birth, the accident of birth is deciding the fate of children in India. See, he gave a small example. He asked a question. In Kathuwa rape case, 11-year-old girl raped. 11-year-old girl got raped. The question is, we are all discussing about rape. In India, right to education is a fundamental right. Why that girl is there in the situation without being in school? No civil society, nobody questioned this. The girl have the right to education as a fundamental right in India. She is an Indian. She was an Indian, but she is not there in the school. She has not gone to the school. She missed her childhood. She lost her life. And if the same girl would have been born in our family, she would have gone to school. She would have enjoyed her childhood, and the accident of birth decided her fate today. She is no more. She is a rape victim. We always question why rape occurred, but we never question our systemic failure. Not only the failure of the government, but also failure of common man to make the rights reality. That was missing. Every child have the right to livelihood, means right to live in their own way, right to have their own childhood, but that was missing. And here he asked a question. Mahatma Gandhi, after launching non-cooperation movement, wanted the movement to be peaceful. When Chauri Chaura incident occurred, Mahatma Gandhi suspended the movement, taking the moral responsibility. As individuals, we have moral responsibility. As a society, as a culture, we have moral accountability for what is going on in our society. Each one of us are accountable for what is going on in our society. Ignoring our responsibility morally, we are leading our life as if nothing has happened to us. As if nothing has happened to us. Out of 130 crores of population in India, one 9-year-old girl went missing, got raped, and every hour 8 children were missing. And without any remorse and without any responsibility, we are moving forward in our life. How far this is right? This was the article. This was the article written by Kailash Satyarthi. Who started Bachpan Bachao Andolan? Who started Bachpan Bachao Andolan? Before getting Nobel Peace Prize, he was beaten up on many occasions when he went to rescue children. He was beaten up on many occasions when he went to rescue children. And nobody knows his name. Most of the Indians don't know his name before he got Nobel Peace Prize. Only awards and prizes are important to recognize a man as a man. Only when you get an award, people will recognize that you are doing something. Either Raman Magsaysay or Nobel Peace Prize. When you work without anything, you will never be recognized. Even I don't know the name of Kailash Satyarthi before he won the Nobel Peace Prize. I regularly read newspapers from last 15 years, but I have not seen his name many times. I don't remember his name. Might be that is my mistake. So coming back, is planting saplings a solution to the felling of trees? In Delhi, 14,000 trees were felled. And we are always debating on air pollution in Delhi. On the one side, we are banning crackers in Delhi. On the other side, we are thinking that crop burning is the reason. On the other side, we are also saying that Delhi have become a gas chamber and nobody can live in Delhi. And at the same time, 14,000 trees got felled in Delhi, and we are saying we plant new saplings. Is sapling substituted tree? No. It's a question. Can they substitute a tree? This is just a question. Think it over. Think it over. So these are the important news. And last important news yesterday with respect to international relations is Trump was very strong against NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Trump was very strong against NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. He said NATO countries should spend more on NATO. 4%. NATO is completely dependent on America. America is funding more on NATO according to Trump, and NATO countries, particularly he said Germany should spend more on NATO. Germany should give more budget to NATO. And from the beginning of his presidency, Trump was quite critical about America's expenditure on NATO. According to him, NATO takes more from America and gives less to America. But according to my view, NATO lived up to the utility of America more than any other NATO partner. NATO was formed in the year 1949, and till date it is serving the purpose of America. It is serving the purpose of America. NATO was formed with the stated objective of collective defense arrangement, but now the hidden objective is collective offense arrangement, not defense arrangement. So Trump as a businessman might think that America is spending more on NATO, but NATO gave more to America than what America has spent on NATO. Okay, these are the important current affairs in yesterday's newspaper. Let's go with our behavioral approach. We'll go with behavioral approach.